Hey, good morning. Just for a few minutes, I want to talk to you today about don't give up hope. You know, when you have hope and you have the understanding that all things work out together for the good, you'll realize that you won't give up. You'll begin to realize that no matter how long it takes, I'm going to stay the course. And this race has been set before you. And because this race has been set before you, you won't throw in the towel. You know, just imagine yourself being in a race. And in a race, maybe in a relay race, where there's four people to each level of the race. And I used to be a track star, so I don't know how, I can't remember what the legs are called, but each leg of the race. And in each leg, the baton has to be passed completely, without error, so that you don't get disqualified. And the thing about this, you won't get disqualified in your own race unless you disqualify yourself. When you make up in your mind that no matter what it is that I'm going through, I'm not going to lose hope. Even though you may be going through some trials that are so unbelievable and you just can't imagine having to just go through it, and you're wondering the reason for going through. Just go through. Know this too shall pass. And as things begin to pass, you'll begin to understand that everything I'm going through has a reason. Matter of fact, put yourself on your project report. In other words, create an environment with your mind. When you change this mind, let me tell you, this mind is a powerful tool. Begin to imagine, hey, sweetie, hey, Renee, hey, Sherry, hey, Carla. When you begin to change your mind, you got to imagine yourself there. Stop, like I said yesterday, don't talk about your problems. Begin to see yourself at the end result. Where do you want to be? Every day you make a daily mental note that I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to throw in the towel. And yes, it may be hard. And yes, I may shed some tears. But I'm going to win. I promise you, you'll win. There was days when I remember one time when I called my mother. And, you know, at that time I didn't know what my future looked like, because I had no idea that I could imagine or I could believe or I could have faith. And I remember one day when I called my mother and I told her, I said, Mom, you know, because at that time I was probably 26, 27 years old, that I didn't want to live because I was going through so much pain. I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted to know that what I was going through, that somebody cared. And I don't think that it wasn't that they didn't care. They just didn't know how to show me what love was. And so sometimes when we're in our inner circles or we're in our family support groups and we don't think people are responding in the manner that we think they should respond, it's not that they don't love you. It's not that they don't care. They just don't know how. And they're dealing with their own inner issues too. And so that day I was like maybe I've taken off work or something, or I had gone through something that weekend, and it was just so horrific, what I thought was horrific, because obviously I didn't end my life that day because I'm still here. And I remember every time Mama would say something to me, I would always do the opposite. And so that day she told me, I said, Mom, I don't think I want to live. I said, you know, this pain is so hard, and I just want somebody to call me, and I just want somebody to check up on me. I just want somebody to tell me that I'm important, that I matter. And you know, that day she said, Monica, only fools kill themselves. And immediately, when I heard her say that only fools kill themselves, I said, well, I'm not no fool. So I'm not going to give that credit there. I'm not going to put that into that environment. And that was one of the turning points in my life when I knew that I'm not going to kill myself. I have too much to look forward to. And so that means that I didn't give up. And there was days when I did want to throw in the towels. There were days when I was wasting away. My body was wasting away. When I was in college, I got down to 98 pounds at one time because I was so stressed. But let me tell you, that is not of God. When we begin to look at where our faith comes from, and we begin to see that all that God does for us and who He is to us in our lives, and we begin to apply His word, and we begin to understand, and I always tell people, pain has no color. You can't tell me how I should feel about a certain thing because it has no color. My pain is real. And a lot of times we cover dysfunction with scriptures, and you can't cover dysfunction with scriptures because pain is real. And it's real to that person and what they're going through. But let me tell you as a witness, I am a witness to everything that he has that allowed me to go through, that it didn't last. That pain passed. That pain subsided. I began to see that I had hope, that I could pray to him. And I stopped telling people what I was going through. I began to get one-on-one with him and say, God, I need you to help me. I need you to show me, who am I? And what I realized too was that the biggest thing was I didn't know who I was. And when you don't know who you are, you accept anything. And you do lose hope, because you don't know that who you are is what makes you stronger. Who you are is what's within you. So today I'm telling you, no matter what your situation looks like, no matter what you're going through, no matter how long it takes you, do not give up. Do not throw in the towel. Do not say, oh, I'm through with it. And just get still somewhere. And when you get still and you begin to realize that I can take a deep breath and I'm still breathing, I'm still here, all you got to do is change your mind. And when you change your mind, I can assure you your whole life change. So today, you can't give up. You got somebody who's looking at you, who's looking at you as a witness and as example. We are on this Hall of Fame for other people. We are on the roll call. So do a roll call in your life. Who is in your life that allowed you to be, that they will call you and say, hey, you know what? I'm going through this, and I just want you to pray with me. Just do it. Just pray. It's so simple. Jesus help. I would always say, Jesus help me. Because sometimes there were days when I could even pray for myself. It got so bad I remember when I was writing in my journal, and I began, because I would always journal my problems, and I always address them to God. And I would say, God, the person who's writing this to you, I don't even know who they are. But I realize now that all that I went through and all that I struggled with, all the low self-esteem, all the self-identity, everything, and even this scar here on my neck, a lot of times people think that it's like my neck folding, but that's where I had neck surgery. And so I don't look at that scar as a bad scar anymore. I look at it as a scar that is beautiful, because when you know the story about your scars, and when you know that everything you went through, you're then able to tell people that all is well. Be like the Shunammite woman in the Bible, you know? No matter when she knew her baby had died, and she was just going to see the man of God, and remember, she didn't ask him for that baby, but he gave her a promise. And so because God has given you a promise, you may not have asked for it, but he's given it to you. And you gotta know that it's gonna work out for your good. And all she kept focused on was the prize. All is well. When people ask her what's going on, all is well. So when people ask you what's going on, all is well. Make it up in your mind that all is well. Make it up in your mind that I can get through this. I can get through this. And make it up in your mind that I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to throw in the towel, because I have hope. I have faith, and I truly believe that if he allowed it to happen, there must be a reward that's so much greater. Because when you change your mind, you watch the manifestation of the desires are being fulfilled in your life. I promise you. Thank you guys for joining today. I want you to know this, that if I'm a witness, that I, who wanted to throw in the towel, did not give up, and I'm still here to be able to talk to you about it, that means that the reward is so much greater. You can win. Just don't give up, and don't lose hope, because you're loved, you're appreciated, and you're a winner, because you're a warrior. And most of all, you're a child of God. I love you. Have an awesome day. Bye now, and thank you for joining.